Hey YouTube, it's CryptoKyle here. We're looking at the Ripple price action. Had a huge run up today, like over almost 100% really. So if you caught the trade early, I ended up going long in this area here, and I sold what I thought was going to be resistance right here actually, right around this area I sold. So it was a huge gain. It ended up pushing up higher. I didn't chase it, but now I'm waiting for the pullback. Actually, I ended up buying the pullback already, and it looks like it's still selling, so people are kind of getting a little spooked. But you know, maybe it comes back down to this moving average. I don't know. It's selling off pretty hard right now. But I'm okay with that. I think it'll bounce soon. I think I ended up going long. Right here I got filled. I put an order right there. So I didn't know I was going to get filled. And I thought, well, I'll probably come down to the 61%, although it had just like so much hype. And yeah, it's just selling really hard now. So you see these big ups and downs. So, you know, I would say that if you're going to look to go long again, or for the first time, you're going to want to go long like somewhere in this area in between these two markers. So this is traded and paired with Bitcoin. I use Bittrex here to get these orders in. So I buy Bitcoin in Coinbase, and then I transfer that to Bittrex, and then I take the trade in Bittrex to do these altcoins here. So yeah, maybe it comes down and we just get like a nice hard bounce. It's pretty bearish right here. We lost the 9 moving average as we rolled over. I don't know what it ended up tapping out at. Maybe like 85 cents is what this converts to. Let's take a look. Ripple $1. So now we're at 65 cents. So yeah, it almost hit a buck. So we're getting a nice healthy pullback. So if you want to just do this quick, instead of doing the math, we could just do something like that. So you could expect it to start to bounce right in this area, maybe right here, or even what it's doing right now. It looks like it's getting some buying. So I like anything in between the 61 and 50% retracement off the high to catch like a lower moving average. But I do think that this is going to break $1 just because this was like it started going a little bit viral, and you could see there was a lot of chatter in social, like on StockTwits, and then people were hitting me up on YouTube for it, and Facebook as well, and maybe even a little Instagram. So I was like, oh, okay, so we got some new traders coming to this. We're going to see some volume, and then yeah, it started popping up, and I actually caught it on this pullback in here, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna let it ride over. And I woke up overnight and it was already up 50%. And so I looked at the daily, and actually I was on this guy here. Sorry. Yeah, I caught it just as it was going up into here, and I said, oh, I'm just gonna take a stab at this. Why not? Because I started seeing the volume come up. I was like, oh, okay, I saw this volume bar right here, and I went long in this area. And then yeah, I woke up and it was like somewhere in here, and I was like, oh god, damn. So I think it was going to run into this resistance. It just ended up blasting right through that, and then we're selling off pretty hard. So that's what they do. They usually spike up, sell off. So now I'm actually just waiting on Litecoin as well, like I've been saying. So a lot of people are trading this, and we had this huge run up. So I took it long at 147. I had a sell order out at 319. That obviously got filled as it pushed way up to 400 and almost 20. I think like 419 it tapped out at. And wow, I was like, okay, well, I went 100 points past my sell order. I'm not going to chase it, obviously. And I was like, okay, I need to look at the daily chart on this. These things tend to run up for multiple days. I don't want to look at anything of less of a time frame unless I'm really trying to get my entry right. So I wanted to tap this moving average down here because it's in between the 61 and 50% retracement. So I have an order out at 228. I feel like that's going to be pretty healthy, and it looks like I might get filled finally after a couple days waiting. So I've adjusted it. It was originally 260, and then I adjusted it down to 210. I was like, I don't know, because like the moving average started to change. So I kind of want to see it come down and tap this 220 and get a nice bounce back up to 300. And if it does do that, sometimes resistance is in this area on those bounces. So if it can't push up past 331 and 362 after the bounce, then I would end up probably selling. See, now it's starting to get pretty volatile. It's getting really jumpy. So I don't know what's going to happen. I might get filled. Looks like people might start panicking here. And that's kind of like what I was wanting to happen. And you can kind of see that this one's going to maybe kind of stall out here, potentially at like 65 cents. And it looks like we're getting a nice little bounce here. So like anywhere in 61 to 50% is where I like to go long. This is the golden ratio here. So anything that you get a spike up and you get a pullback to, typically they don't do it in one day. It would be over the course of time. But these things are quick movers, so you just kind of like got to wait for that pullback. Even though it may seem like it's not coming, it will come. It always comes. There's always buyers and there's always sellers, and you have to think psychologically what people are going to be doing after this long run up. Like certainly you don't want to buy the top and hope that it comes back up, because it may never come back up. You know, these are all speculation at this point, even though there's a technology behind it. You're not quite sure. So yeah, that's my 2 cents. So my trade plan obviously is I'm already long again in Ripple. Let me mark my long. Was that for? I'm already in the red. It was at 4, like right here, 40.25. Not really going to put a stop on it. I might even add to this position if it comes down even lower. It would be nice to get it at 50 cents. I'm not sure if that will happen. I think maybe we'll start bouncing and retracing. And my target actually is a break of $1 now, because I want to see it break this previous high and push up to past $1 here and potentially up to $1.30 in the next week or whatever. So I know a lot of people are probably eyeing this now because it's one of the most liquid. It's a high market cap on Coinbase, and the fact that it's so cheap at 62 cents and it's getting 100% moves is very attractive to people that are new to investing and trading. So I think that it'll just get that hype will kind of remain in this one, and this is the next one to like continue to leg up essentially. So I really do like this for those factors. I think that Bitcoin has had his run, and it's obviously still up there, because in order to buy these little guys, you got to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum, but Bitcoin is probably the most popular. So I think that one is always going to just stay up in this area potentially. It'll probably get some pullbacks, but in the meantime, you can trade these little guys with it. So just keep that in mind. That's why probably Bitcoin is going to be the kingpin here, is that in order to trade all these altcoins and Bittrex and Binance, then you're going to need to buy Bitcoin essentially and transfer it over. So you can imagine that people would just spend, $500, let's say, and they're going to just buy Bitcoin, but they're buying it at this price up here. So the price is so elevated because you can fractionalize it essentially. And it just keeps the price elevated. It's because you get new traders that are coming in. They're paying 17,000 for a fraction of a coin, and it's not like a stock where you have to buy one share for X 17,000. Like, it's impossible for a lot of people. But for this crypto world, we're getting like just traders that are just they're not even traders essentially. They're just people coming into this because they want to try to make some money. So a lot of them potentially could get smoked if they're not accustomed to the fact that these things are so volatile. Like I could imagine like somebody that's not even a trader that would come in here and probably put $1,000 into this thing. It's going to break $1. It's going to break, $1.50, and then it taps out at like 90 cents and just gets this huge pullback. And now they're like in the hole $500, and they're probably panicking right now, and they're probably like selling for a loss at this point. Whereas like guys like me who have been through the ropes, we understand how these price movements how they work. Then we kind of just like let it ride up. Like we caught it down here, we rode it up to a point of resistance, we sold. I don't really care how far it goes up. It could continue to go. I hit my target, I obeyed my rule, so I'm out. And then I'm just going to wait now and see what happens. And if it continues to come down here and consolidate, and then we get a breakout, I'll trade it again. Or I'm going to catch it at a point where I like in between the 61 and the 50% retracement. And then, I'm going to hold on to it until it continues much higher, because I feel like it's one of the popular ones. So, and at that price, I feel like I'm not risking that much money. I feel like it could stay here for a while. So even so, I'll be willing to hold on to it. And I'm not trying to day trade it. Essentially, I didn't know I was going to hit it overnight. And it seems like that's the theme nowadays with these guys. So yep, just kind of waiting for Litecoin to come down. I made adjustment order again, but I like it at 228. It just went up so hard so fast that it's continuing to drop, and people are trying to catch this, what's called a falling knife. They think it's going to just keep bouncing, and you see some bounces, especially around here. And if you're trying to trade it on like an hour chart, you can see like these candle wicks here. But what's coming on is you're getting a lot of selling, and then you're getting like this massive candle of buying, and it pops, and then it just rolls again, right? These are called dead cat bounces, and it's bear flagging down essentially right into my area where I want to buy. So I feel like a lot of guys that are going to be going long right here on the hour chart are getting a nice healthy support, and then we're going to start legging up after that, and that's going to be on the daily. It's going to be right at this 9 moving average here. So I want to see some volatility spike down and fill my order and then go up. So just kind of waiting patiently. So if you want to take my trades, please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to start, I post these daily. I post my trades. My trade on Litecoin was over 100% gain. On the day we went, I got long at 147. I missed the breakout at 103. I should have taken it. I didn't. I was distracted. I went long at 147, sold at 319. Obviously, it pushed up higher, but my play was to 319 based on my analysis that you can look back in those videos. And then I posted this one, I think earlier today or yesterday, actually yesterday, saying you should buy Ripple between 50 cents and 60 cents with a target of about 80 cents to 90 cents. Obviously, I thought maybe it could hit $1, and that would be a massive point of resistance. And psychologically, I think a lot of people thought that, and that's why you saw it peak out at 88 to 90 cents. People wanted to jump ship before it actually hit $1, right? They want to start taking profits before it hit the whole number, which is smart. Smart thing to do. So, all right, that's it for me, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll leave my email below too as well. Cheers.